Alright. Before that, could you please, as usual, fill up the attendance form, and if someone's just joining, please copy and paste in the chat box so that they can fill out the form. Thank you. Okay, for today we're gonna do some tutorials for about yesterday's lesson, continuity equation. So I have posted the material in the classroom. You can open the tutorial from the classroom, or you want to see from my slide, that's fine, whichever you choose. Okay, so today we're going to do some tutorials so that you can understand more on how you can solve the problem in chapter 3, specifically about continuity equation. So I just take the question from past years, okay, and from the notes, and then I just compile it so we can do the question. Before we start, just a recap about the continuity equation. This is based on the conservation of mass, and you have three flow rates that we commonly ask, which is volume flow rate, mass flow rate, and weight flow rate. Okay, I hope you already know this. If not by heart, you understand what it is, all this equation, and you remember the equation for all these flow rates. So Q for volume flow rate is equal to the area times the velocity, and the unit is meter cube per second, and the mass flow rate is just multiplication of rho with Q, or you can write it as rho AV, right? And this unit will be in kilogram per second. Is there someone put in the chat? Okay, sorry. Okay, but thank you, Shay. And we have the last one, the weight flow rate. Just multiplication of G. If you can see the difference from Q, the volume flow rate, when you multiply with rho, you will get your mass flow rate, and if you multiply with G, then you will get your weight flow rate. So rho GQ is the weight flow rate, and this unit will be in Newton per second. Alright, so we were going to do this tutorial. Okay, in these 2 hours, maybe less than 2 hours, we will finish with this tutorial. Alright, I'm not going to do for all of you. You have to do it by yourself, or we can do it together here. Just guide, like usual. I would like any one of you who can lead us, or anyone so siapa boleh. Just try, no harm in trying. Alright, don't afraid if you got the wrong answer. We are learning. Okay, first of all, this is just a very straightforward question, maybe like a quiz. So they ask you to state the actual discharge equation for the following pipes. So they give you this pipe. It's very complicated pipe. Alright, and they ask you to write Q1. What is Q1, Q2, and Q7? Alright, anyone want to try Q1? So you have Q1, Q2, okay, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7 and Q8. Q for volume flow rate. Okay. What is Q1 in term of Q lah, not the value. They don't ask you to find the value. They want you to write in term of Q. Okay, what is Q1 then? Anyone want to try? Siapa-siapa? Ada? Try. Masih pagi lagi ke? Ini mendung sikit. So anyone? What is Q1?
Saya nak try boleh saya?
Boleh. Not a problem.
Q1 sama dengan 1.
Satu.
Satu.
Satu apa?
Nak pakai formula ke?
You just use this term lah. Q2, Q3, 4, 5, 6, Q5, Q7 or 6, whatever lah.
Okay. Q1 equals to Q2 plus Q3.
Kejap aja pen saya rosak pula Mana pen saya? Sekejap.
Okay.
Why is my pen? It's not working. Okay, what you say? Q1 is equal to Q2
plus Q3.
Okay, we are done. Good?
Yeah.
Good, this is a correct answer. Alright, for Q2, anyone want to try?
Q4 plus Q5 plus Q6.
Q4 plus Q5 plus Q6. Okay, that's good. Last but not least, Q7. What is Q7?
Q3 minus Q8.
Q3 minus Q8. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Good. Or that's good. Okay, all correct. Or for overall, maybe you can write as Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. And this equal to Q4 plus Q5 plus Q6 and plus Q7 plus Q8. So you get the concept, right? So well done. So if you see any pipes with a lot of branch, this maybe is one branch and you split to two, and this branch have two branch split to another 3 and 2. So you you understand the concept. So good, well done. All right. So we can go to the real question. Okay, first question. This is from past years. Not sure which year. I just I cannot remember it. So air enters a nozzle steadily at 2.2 kilogram per meter cube and 45 meter per second. Then it leaves the nozzle at 0.762 kilogram per meter cube and 150 meter per second. If the inlet area of the nozzle is 80 centimeters squared, estimate first the mass flow rate through the nozzle. So they ask you to find the mass flow rate and the exit area of the nozzle. So exit area of the nozzle. So let's say A2. So the exit at 2. Okay, before we start, I recommend you to write all the information that they gave it to you. Okay, what's the first information that we have in this question?
Enter nozzle.
What? Again?
2.21 kg per meter cube, sir.
Okay, what is this?
When dia enter.
What is this?
Enter input.
Enter input.
Tak. Yang dia masuk tu 2.21.
Lah, what's 2.21 ni apa? Apa property apa?
Density.
Density, sir.
Velocity? Velocity?
Density.
Density.
Density, okay, yes, good. So let's say P1 row 1 alright, and what else?
Exit nozzle density ke?
As in density, this one
Ah,
0.762. Okay, this is row 2. Okay, what else you have?
45 meter second.
What is this?
Velocity.
V what?
V1,
V1.
V1.
Okay, good. And what else you have?
V2, 150.
V2.
V2. Okay, good. Here is V2. Okay, and what else?
Nozzle area.
Nozzle area. What is nozzle
A1.
area? A1. So what is
A1.
this? A1 equal to? Ni lah bagian ni But remember they gave it in centimeter square. So what you need to do?
Unit.
Tukar.
In
Okay.
meter square. So how you do that? 80 centimeter square to meter square. What is this multiplication? Apa macam mana nak cari?
From tu jap.
You divide by
10,000.
10,000. Good. Kan? Apa? If you 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter kan? Okay? So this is not squared. So if it's squared, then you just 100 squared lah That will be 1,000 10,000. Okay? Betul? So what is the value for the area in meter squared?
0.008.
0.008.
008.
Okay. So you need to careful in conversion of this unit Okay, now we can do the question. Okay. So I ask you, if you have this question, just write kat sini apa P1 apa, P2 apa. So I'm not really tak rajin sangat hari ni. So I just label it here. Okay, they want you to find mass flow rate. So what's the question for mass flow rate? Apa? Question mass flow rate?
Row AV.
Rho AV. Okay, that's that's good. Okay, you have your row. You can choose either one Either you want to choose at the let's say this is a nozzle You can draw to make sure you lagi jelas. Okay, one enter and one leave So this is 1 point, that's second point. So they ask you to find the mass flow rate through the nozzle. So you can choose at any location whether at 1 or 2. Right? So they gave you the row 1, they gave you the A1. Okay, you have the A1 and you have the V1. So it's it's easy if you want. If you only can choose using at one position position 1 So you have your row 1, A1 and V1. Okay. So this mass flow rate at 1. So the row is 2.21 times A1, which is 0.008 times the V1 is 45 meter per second. So what is the value?
$0.7956.
0.7956.
956.
And what is the unit?
kg per second.
Huh?
Kg per second.
kg per second.
Kg per second. Okay, don't forget your sorry, kg per meter pula. Padam dulu. Okay. Kg per second. Okay. Alright, so we're done. So you answered the first one. Second one, the exit area. A2, dia nak A2. How you can do that?
Row 2 A2 B2.
Row 2 A2 B2.
Pakai mass flow rate.
Oh, you apa? 0.7956 equal to
Row 2 A2
row 2 A2 V2. Okay, we're done. So V2 equal to 0.7956 divided by row 2. You have your row 2 0.762 A2 nak cari sorry, nak A2 salah sini A2 tak ada orang betulkan pun. Okay, your V2
150.
150.
So that will give you what is the area for A2 then? Apa punya line dia?
0.0069.
0.069
069.
meter squared.
kg per meter square.
Nak area kan?
Meter square, sir.
So 0.069 meter squared. Okay. So sekejap Sekejap saya allow people count. Okay. Okay, thank you for whoever put copy and paste the link. So, inilah jawapan dia. Senang je kan? Ke susah?
Boleh.
Ha? Biasa,
Senang.
betul je kan?
Boleh.
So you have your mesh flow rate A2, row 2, A2, B2. Okay. Okay, good. Or you can also use A1, B1 equal to A2, B2 kan. So maybe some of you use your Q, equation Q. So this will give you A1, B1 equal to A2, B2. Okay, so you can do that as well. Okay, so that you will get the same answer dah Sama ke kalau awak kira macam ni for A2. So A2 sama dengan A1 V1 divided by V2. Sama tak lepas ni? So can someone check? A1 0.008 times V1 45
Lain, sir. Lain.
Lain
Hmm.
So why A1 0.008 times V1, what's the V1? 45 divided by V2 150, which is 2.4. 2.4. Oh, lain jawapan dia. Why is that? Q1
Density.
Huh?
Density lain.
Density. Oh, okay. So this means that it is apa? Ini bukan incompatible kan? When the density is change apa? Different. So they gave you row 1 and row 2. So I think you need to use this one lah. Apa equation with apa? Row 1 times A1 times V1 equal to row 2 times A2 times V2. So you cannot use this equation, which is the volume flow rate, because it is not the same. The row is not the same. Kan? So you cannot equate apa just using Q1 equal to Q2. Kan? Because the row is not the fluid, the air has a different density whenever it enters and whenever it leaves the nozzle. Okay, so you cannot using this. Faham Okay, so
Faham.
betul lah ni bagus apa yang buat ni. So you realize the row is different. Okay, any question before we go to the next question? Tak ada
Tak ada sih.
Okay, now second one. Figure Q3A shows that oil, the row of oil, they gave you the row of oil 857, flows from section 1 at velocity 1, which is 2.5, to section 2 at velocity V2. The diameter for section 1, D1, and section 2, D2 are 30 cm and 15 cm. Calculate the following: the velocity at section 2, so they ask you to find V2, the volume flow rate of the oil, Q, and also mass flow rate. So they gave you, so what the information that we have is the row 857, the V1 we have 2.5, and we have the diameter here is 30 centimeter. Okay, remember centimeter you need to change in meter, so this is 0.3. Okay, and you want to, they ask you to find velocity. So how we do number 1? Okay, markah dia enam markah dia. So I hope you easily can get full marks for any question regarding continuity equation. That is like free marks lah for you, because it's really straightforward. It's just need to be careful with the conversion of the centimeter square to meter square if they gave you the area, or the centimeter to meter. So that's only the trick lah. The other I think just straightforward. So you need to score or get full 6 of 6. Okay, number 1, velocity. How we do this? V2, what equation we use?
A1V1 equals to A2V2.
A1V1 equal to A2V2. That's good. This is the equation for Qn, the volume flow rate. Okay, what is A1?
Pi r square.
Pi r squared. Okay, what is the R?
0.15.
0.15 squared times V1 2.5. Okay, and A2 pi
R square.
what is the R now?
0.075.
0.075. Good. Times V2 kan. Okay, so V2 is equal to, what's the value?
Ten.
10.
Mm-hmm.
10 not V squared, sorry, V2 bawah, salah ni confused lah nanti. V2 10 unit meter per second. Don't forget your yes.
Unitnya meter per second ke meter per second square?
Mana? Mana otak
Soalan.
meter?
2.5 meter.
Oh ni salah ni. Should be meter per second lah salah tu. Velocity kan meter per second. Okay, so it's 10. So you can double check lah because the area at V2 is smaller than area at V1. So the velocity should be increased. That's why you get higher velocity at V2. So it's just multiplication of 4 kan. 2.5 times 4 because you have the difference between the area 30 and 15 2, so area velocity area squared, so it's 4. If someone you are here is genius enough to just to estimate, and you can estimate from the numbers kan, but you can do this by calculation but you have to do like this lah, so you can prove the equation and your jalan kerja so that's one. Okay, number 2, volume flow rate. How we can find it? Q equal to sama lah yang ni atas ni A times V So just use whichever you want, whether it's A1 or V1 or A2 V2, it should give you the same answer. So the A1 maybe if you want I choose here the A1, so pi r squared times 2.5 equal to what's the number? What's the value?
0.1767.
0.1767 and the unit is apa?
Meter cube per second.
Meter cube per second don't forget. So if you choose the A2 V2, it should give you the same answer lah 10 times ni sama je kan jawapan dia kan, lebih kurang kalau dia ikut betul ke? So cuba check takut salah pula.
Betul sir, betul.
Okay, good. So number 3 mass flow rate m dot. Okay, what is the equation for m dot?
Rho AV.
Okay, just for rho Q.
Rho Q.
Yes, because you already have find the Q here. So just multiplication of rho, and they give you the rho 857. So this should give you what's the answer?
151.43.
151.43 unit
kg per second.
Okay, so this is your answer lah So remember all the unit should be given, should be written in your answer. Okay, and in this case, in this question, in this past year's paper, so they gave you the unit. Okay, so you need to give you the answer in this unit lah. Or maybe I'm not sure whether there are a question that ask you, maybe they want you to find in meter per hour ke apa kan. So you need to give the answer in meter per hour lah, meter cube per hour lah So whatever unit that you need to write must be depending on the question. If they did not mention anything, so you need to give in the standard unit, meter cube per second. If they give you a specific unit that they want you to give, then just follow the specific unit that they ask you to give. Alright, so don't forget that. Okay, because I have a lot of people asking me, ask me through text me, what's the unit, boleh ke bagi unit dalam ni, boleh ke bagi unit dalam ni. Okay, you have to follow the question. If the question asks you to give in this, then just follow the question. If not, if they didn't ask you to give in any unit, just take the default unit, the standard unit. Okay, alright, so it's very easy. So 6 per 6 you all have already obtained here through this question. 2, 2, 2, 2 dah nambah. Alright, next one. The hydraulic oils flow through a pipe has a velocity of 2 meter per second. The pipe diameter is 8 centimeter with specific gravity of oil is 0.85. Estimate the volume flow rate. Okay, they need us to find the Q and also the mass flow rate M dot. Okay, how we can do that? The Q. Again, A times V. Okay. So what's the area?
Pi r square.
Pi square. And what is this? What is it? Pi times
0.04 square.
0.04. Okay. So they give you the diameter here. 8 times V. What's the V? Is 2. And this should give you apa jawapan dia?
.01
0.01
meter cube
meter cube per second. Okay. Well done. The next one. Ini 0.01 betul
Betul sih.
Okay. The next one. Mass flow rate.
M equals to rho
Rho Q.
Rho Q. Good. So what is this number?
450.
85.
1. Berapa? 150. 150. 150.
450.
Yeah, 150. Oh, okay. The row of this part, the oil, they gave you the SG. So 850 times Q.
0.01.
V. Berapa?
8.5.
8.5. Okay. And the unit is apa?
kg
kg
S.
per second. Okay. So it is very straightforward question. And you should score lah. Senang je kan? Tak susah next. Okay, two pipes steadily deliver water to a venturi meter in figure Q3A. The water velocity in pipe 1 and pipe 2 are 6 meter per second and 5 meter per second respectively. The diameters for the venturi meter at point 3, point 4 and point 5 are 12 cm, 6 cm and 10 cm. The fluid used in the manometer has a specific gravity of 13.6. And determine first the volume flow rate and velocity at point 3. So they ask you to find Q3 and V3. Okay, Q3. So kat sini lah, kat point ni. Okay, and the velocity of the water in the throat. Okay, kat Q4 ni throat kat sini. Okay, nak cari V4. Okay. In this question ada patutnya satu lagi soalan Tapi soalan ni kita tak belajar lagi. Okay, because it involving the Bernoulli equation. So I just delete the third question lah. That's why you have this manometer. Okay, and when this have a manometer, then you will use your Bernoulli equation on how to find to solve the question number 3. That we will learn in week 8 whenever you come back from your semester break. Okay, so how you can do number 1, the volume flow rate at point 3. Macam mana nak buat? Okay, list down what you have, what your information that you have. I think this useful if you can list down, because you have a lot of point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what do you have now? Okay, they give you V1, okay, V1 is equal to 6. Okay, what else?
V2.
V2 equal to 5. Okay, is that all?
Diameter, they want V2.
Okay, we can change that in
Meter.
no, the diameter, yeah, the diameter they give you so that you can find
Radius.
the area.
Area.
So the A1 is equal to apa A1? So pi R square dia apa? R dia apa? 0.04 Is it 0.04? Betul ke?
Ya.
40 millimeter to meter, but you divide by 1000 kan? Kan?
0.04.
Okay, so this your A1 A1 here. So diameter bagi 2 and bagi in lah dalam meter. So that's your A1. So A2 pi darab 0.035
0.035.
squared. Okay, what else you have? They give you the diameter as well for 3, 4 and 5. So you have A3, A4 and A5 lah. So A3 5 pi times 12 centimeter. So it's 6 centimeter. So it's 0.06. Okay, and A4
0.03.
0.03. Good. And
And
A5
0.05.
0.05 square. So all the property that they give you, you just list down, so that it's easy for you when you want to answer the question. So now they ask you to find the Q at point 3 and velocity at point 3. So what we use for Q3? Apa macam mana cari Q3? How you do that?
Q1 plus Q2 as well.
Good. So it's Q1
Okay.
plus Q2.
Okay.
Alright. This you get the concept Ada 2. So tambah kat sini lah So 1 plus 2 is equal to kat sini.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what is the equation here? So Q1 A1 times V1 lah
AV.
Okay, A1 V1. So Q2
Plus
A2
A2 V2.
V2. So you just put the numbers lah. A1, okay, ambil A1 times 6, A2 pi ni times V2. So what's the number here? Apa dapat? Berapa?
0.05.
0.05 unit. Unit apa unit?
Meter cube per second.
Meter cube per second. Is this the right answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's right, but it's not perfectly right. Why?
Dia nak velocity.
No, for volume flow rate. What is
Oh,
in
then
in the question? Yes, that's why I asked you.
velocity.
If they ask you to find in liter per minute, so you need to change this in liter per minute lah. So how you do this? 0.05 Okay, this is meter cube per second. Okay, 0.05. Okay, so satu berapa? Macam mana how you can change meter cube in liter? 1 liter equal to berapa? In liter. 1 liter berapa meter cube? So that you can change this. Berapa? 1 liter.
1000.
1 liter berapa?
0.001 meter cube.
1 liter 0.01
001.
001.
001 meter cube. 001 meter cube. Sorry. Ada 0.001 you times 1000 kan, 1 2 times lah. Okay, meter cube. So that means you want to change meter cube in liter, so 1000 dah sini kan. Betul? Okay. And in unit in a minute, second in minute, how you change second in minute? So times 60 lah 1 minit selesai saat kan. Minit. Betul? Betul tak ni?
Betul sih.
Satu minit 60 saat kan. So you want in liter per minute, so that it means you need times 60 lah, so that you can cancel out second. Allah, you can cancel out the second, and you can cancel out the meter cube. So it will give you answer in liter per minute. So what is the answer in liter per minute?
3000.
3000 liter per minute. Okay, betul? 0.05 times 1000 into 50 times 60, betul lah, 3000 lah. Okay, so that's why I said please careful with what unit they ask you. So you need to give the answer in that unit. If you just answer until here, you still have a few marks lah. You will not get the wrong answer. Maybe you let's say this question have 4 marks, so you only can get 1 for this. And if let's say 2 here, so you can only get 1 because you don't give you in the right unit. Okay, that's fine. Okay, how about number 2, the velocity? The velocity tak habis lagi ni. Dia nak velocity juga at point 3. So how you find your V3? Apa V3? Apa equation?
Q equals to A.
Macam mana?
Q equals to A3V3 macam tu.
Okay, and how you find V3? So Q3 divide
A3.
Okay, so you already find your Q3 0.05, and you have your A3 here. Okay, pi times 0.06 squared. So this will give you your V3, and the value is, what is the value? So they ask you to find meter per second so you need to use 0.05 lah, not 3000 Okay. Okay, what's the value for velocity?
.442 meter per second.
Okay, so I hope everyone got the same answer. So I just trust any one of you here. That's settled for number 1. And number 2, the velocity of the water in the throat. So here V4 dekat throat ni, maksudnya kat sini lah throat. Okay, yang kecil ni. Okay, what is the how we can find it? Kat sini saya tulis kat sini. Ruang dah. Okay, what's how you find it? V4. Jadi nak V4 kan? So what? How you find it? Macam mana?
V4.
Macam mana
A3
V4?
equals to A4 V4.
Macam mana? A3.
A3 equals to A4 V4.
Okay, good. A4, V4. Yes, and A3 ni Q3 lah kan? Q3 lah kan?
Ah,
Okay, Q3 divide by A4. And this will give you your V4. What is the value? Q3 0.05 and A4, you have your A4 here,
17.68
17.68
meter per second.
meter per second. Look, the velocity is very high because your area here is very small. The truth is always tempat yang paling laju lah because the area is very small, so that's why you have your V4 is 17.68.
sir,
Ha,
kalau yang soalan saya tu kan yang kat Q4 tu kan,
Q4.
boleh kita buat Q4 tu equals to Q5 tadi?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Ha. Tapi how you can
Tapi
use
tadi maklumat kan.
you only have A5 but you don't have V5 kan?
Okay.
So you have two unknown parameter, so you cannot use 5 lah.
Alright sir.
Okay, good. So you complete number 2, settle. So you get your full mark here. Next one. Ni pun from past papers. Okay, ni pun ada manometer juga. So we can ignore the first part first. Lose, but we not cover the Bernoulli equation yet. Okay, so we just focus on this lah, on this part that we can do. Figure Q3A shows a manometer being used to indicate the pressure difference between 2 points in a pipe system. If the velocity of flow of water in the 25 mm diameter section is 10 meter per second, calculate the volume flow rate, okay, Q, the mass flow rate, M dot, and also the weight flow rate, W dot. Okay, how we can do this? Number 1, number 2 number 1 kita ignore yang first the volume flow rate. So what information that you have?
Diameter.
Okay, kat sini A katalah A1 kita ambil sini 1 sini 1 ni 2. So A1 equal to, kita tulis kat sini senang sikit. So A1 equal to pi
R square.
dia berapa?
R dia 0.0125. 0125.
125. This 50 divided by 2, 25 kan? Betul tak?
0.025.
25
Dekat B, sorry.
tu A1 kita choose ni 1 ni 2 So this is A1. So A2 awak cakap je lah pi darab 0.0125. Okay, so this is your area. What else you have? The velocity kan?
Velocity.
What velocity you have? Which velocity?
V2.
In
V2.
or V2 because they said if the velocity of water in the 25 mm diameter kat sini, so you get what you have is V2 lah, which is 10. Okay, and what else you have? That's all kan, itu je kan. Okay, now how you find Q?
Q2 lah.
Q2 just find Q2 because you already have A2 and V2, so just multiply lah A2 V2. So what's the answer? Pi times
0.049.
0.049.
0049.
0049, sorry. 0.0049. Okay, meter cube per second. Okay, that's one. And number two, the mass flow rate. Mass flow rate, how you can do this? What's the equation for mass flow rate?
Rho
Rho Q. Okay, and the rho is
water.
rho dia? Rho dia apa? Water lah kan? Water 1000 lah.
1000.
Okay, 1000 just times 1000 with Q.
0.0049.
So that's give you 1,
4.9.
2, 3, 4.9 4.9. Apa? Unit kg
kg
per
S.
second.
Negative 1.
This one sorry. Okay, and lastly, finally, the weight flow rate. How you can find your weight flow rate? What do you do? Apa weight flow rate?
Rho GAV.
Rho G Q lah terus kan?
Rho GQ boleh.
Ada Q, AV boleh juga, but you have sama lah
Okay.
Okay, just multiplication of this with G kan? 4.9 times G je lah. Okay, 4.9 times 9.81. So the answer is
48.07.
48.07 unit
Meters per second.
Newton second.
Newton per second. Sorry, Newton per second Okay, kan? So senang ni lah kan, apa, sangat straightforward. But only this lah yang kalau apa the manometer ni, this is not too, it is still straightforward, still easy, but the work is quite long. You have to equate that with Bernoulli equation. Okay, but we will cover this in next week, in week 8. Okay, next one. How many we have still? 1, 2, or 1 only? Okay, we have 2 more questions and then we can call it a day. Alright, a garden hose attached with a nozzle is used to fill a 50-liter bucket. The diameter is 2 cm at the nozzle inlet and it reduced to 0.8 at the nozzle. Apa ni pen saya ni? Okay. 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 Mana ni? The diameter is 2 cm at the nozzle inlet and is to 0.8 at the outlet, at the exit, nozzle exit. If it takes 50 seconds to fill the bucket with water, determine the volume and mass flow rate of the water through the hose and the water velocity at the inlet and nozzle exit. So it's not quite straightforward. So dia kata you can draw to have a clear diagram. Ada garden hose attached with a nozzle. Okay, nozzle macam ni. And the diameter at nozzle inlet here D1 2 cm and reduced to 0.8 at the nozzle exit. So dia makin kecil kat sini, so kecil. This is 0.8 cm. Okay, and it says if it takes 50 seconds to fill a 50-liter bucket. 50 seconds to fill the bucket with water. So the bucket 50 liter, bucket ni, itulah bucket, and it takes 50 seconds to fill up this bucket. Calculate the volume and mass flow rate of the water through the hose, through this hose lah. The hose ni dia attach dengan nozzle ni, through this hose. Okay, how we can do this? Volume flow rate is Q and mass flow rate is mass flow rate. Okay, how we can do that?
Convert dulu sir.
Convert what?
50 liter jadi meter cube.
What is this? Okay, 50 liter in meter cube. What is it? 50,000 5,000 no. How in meter cube? 1 liter 1000 cm cube. Ya ke?
0.5 meter cube.
0.05
meter cube.
meter cube. Okay. So tell the people how you get this. Divide by 1000.
1000.
Okay. So you get 0.05 meter cube. And so this is apa lagi yang perlu ni? Dah. So how you can do this for volume flow rate? So volume flow rate is A times V kan? Betul?
Betul.
So you have the A, and how you can find the V, the velocity?
Tak boleh ke kalau kita ambil like 0.05 tu kan, kita bagikan 50.
0.05 bahagi 50. Okay, that give you 0.05 bahagi 50.
0.001 meter cube per second.
0.05 meter cube bahagi 50. And this give you, what is it, the value?
0.001 meter
0.001 meter cube per second. And this is your volume flow rate kan? Betul? Because they don't give you the velocity, so we cannot use this equation, and that's why they give you the time, the 50 second to fill up this volume of the bucket. So the flow rate is just divide lah, volume divide by time, and they will give you 0.001 meter cube per second. Okay, thank you, well done. So how about mass flow rate? So this is Q. How about mass flow rate? Mass flow rate. What you did with mass flow rate?
Rho Q.
Rho Q. Just times rho. And it is water.
Water 1000.
1000. And
0.001.
1 jadi jawapan dia kan?
1 kg per second.
1 kg per second. Okay, good. And number 2, the water velocity at the inlet and the nozzle exit. So they ask you to find V1 and V2. V1 here and V2.
Okay, Q equals to AV lah.
Good. Q equal AV. Okay. So Q, you have all the Q here. Okay, for A1 use, for V1 use for the area 1, and V2 use for area 2 lah kan? So sorry, V1, so you use Q over A1, and this is equal to berapa? Q 0.001 divided by A1. A1 ya, you have to change A1 first here. A1 pi r square D2, so you have 0.01 square. So that's your A1, and A2 is equal to pi 0.4
0.4
0.004 04
square.
04 ke 004? It is 0.8, 0.4 jadi kan? OCM 0.4
Oh, 0.004.
004
Ah,
don't forget, don't apa, don't wrong, make a mistake here, so square. Okay, so V1 equal to berapa? 0.001
3.18.
huh?
3.18
3.18 meter per second.
per second.
And V2 Q divided by A2. Q sama je lah nilai dia, Q1 or Q2 sama. So what is the value for V2? Must be higher than this lah.
19.89
19.89
meter per second.
per second. Okay, so that's answer your B. Then finish your answer this end. Senang kan? Okay, so again thank you for this. I'm also quite confused tadi, cari rupanya dia bagi ni kan, they give you the time and they give you the volume, so you just straightforward find the Q and the volume flow rate. Okay, finally and last okay, finally last question before we end. Oh, mau jadi ni. Ini jadi macam tu. Okay. So, okay, just read the question first, and then we do it together. Okay. Okay. So how we can do this? Last one, oil. They give you a specific gravity of oil is flowing through a pipe of diameter 200 millimeter with velocity 2.5, and it's converging through a pipe makin kecil of 120 millimeter at a level of 3 meter down, as shown in figure Q3. Determine the flow rate. The flow rate of the oil in the pipe. So they ask you to find Q. Okay, so what we have? So we have V1 2.5, and we have A1. A1 apa sini? Pi
pi 0.1 square.
0.1 square. This is 200 millimeters, so it's 20 centimeter. Bagi ni bagi 2 10, then is 0.1 square. So you have your A1, you have your V1, so you can find your volume flow rate again. Just multiply A1 and V1, and this should be what's the value? So 2.5
0.079.
square
079.
0.079 meter cube
per second.
Okay, we're done. And they ask you to find the velocity at level 2 kat sini. So they ask you to find V2. Okay, V2 equal to
V2 equals to Q over A2.
Q over A2.
A2.
Okay, and this is 0.079 divided by pi.
So pi times 0.06 square.
0.06 square. Okay, pi r square ni r bagi 2 60, and in meter, so 0.06, and this is
6.985
6.985
meter per second.
meter per second. So it's higher. Velocity 1 2.5, velocity 2 6.9. So logik lah, makin kurang makin kecil kan. Okay, that's all for your tutorial. Any question? Whoever yang senyap ni tak cakap apa-apa, just ask if you have any question. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Anything you can ask. Ada lagi soalan? Or you not clear or whatever?
Tadi sih.
Tak ada. Olen tak ada? Olen?
Tak ada sir.
Tak ada. Okay, I think that's all for your tutorial. If anyone here is not doing yet, so you just can do it by yourself. Okay. If not, if you don't do it, you will not get you're not familiar lah. Maybe you understand the Q is equal to AV, but if you don't do the question, the tutorial, you will not master lah this topic. And because of this topic is very easy, and it's very easy to get the full mark for this topic, you should not you should not you should not miss apa? What is it? You should score lah. You should score full mark. Okay. You should score full mark for this question. This topic. Okay. Because it's very easy. Alright. If you don't have any more question, thank you for your attendance. And I think this is the last class for today for this subject, and you will be having your mid-semester break. So I wish enjoy your semester break, but as a student you still need to study. Okay, but yeah, it's a break, you can have your leisure time, whatever. I think at the end of the day there will be assignment will posted to you for this subject. I will let you know nanti. It's not ready yet, but it should be ready in near future by the end of today lah, and you will have a time to complete the assignment. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for your attendance. Please don't forget to fill up the attendance form. Okay, happy holiday, and we shall meet again next following week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Happy holidays, sir.
I'm not holiday. I'm still working here. we don't have any.
Tak ada holiday, sir.
Yeah, we don't have any holiday semester break.
Banyak kerja.
Banyak kerja, sir.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Terima kasih, thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you very much. Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Happy holiday.